Welcome to Nitpicking Nerds and what is going to be the final video in our design series.
It's our favorite and least favorite designs for mono-colored commanders.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, BZ, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds, bringing you daily commander content every single day. Somebody pointed out in the comments, and I like this one. It's every birthday of somebody, we have a video. We have a video for everyone's birthday.
Yeah, so everybody will get a video on their birthday, no matter what day it is, and that's awesome. The best way to support us and daily content on your birthday is to go to patreon.com and, well, support us directly. That's the best way to do it.
I'd just like to say happy birthday to whoever's birthday it is today.
Yes, happy birthday.
This one's for you specifically.
Yes. Also, there is 2 links in the description below. First one takes you to tcgplayer.com. That is a link where you can go and buy Magic cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, whatever kind of cards you like that they sell. I think they sell Force of Will if you're really into Force of Will.
Or Flesh and Blood, which will definitely be around in a year.
Yep.
Definitely.
110%. So you can go buy any of those cards right now. And guess what? If you use our link in the description, you'll be supporting us, and we appreciate that.
So go to the other 2 links below that, which will take you to Dragon Shield US or Dragon Shield EU, depending on where you live, and then sleeve the cards you just bought for the perfect card experience, courtesy of you, I guess.
Courtesy of Dragon Shield.
Yeah. They provide it, but you buy it.
Yeah, exactly. So let's hop into this video. Today we're talking about design again. We talked about this in the past we did the guilds and we did the 3 color pairs. So I want to say first and foremost before we even get into this video, this is just what we like and what we think is a cool design. We are not authorities. We don't get to tell you what is and is not exactly the coolest design. I will say with the Sultai video, a lot of people disagree with us on Brokos, and it made me rethink. Maybe Brokos is a little cooler than I thought he was. It makes me want to actually try him as a commander. So, getting into this video, we talked about, because the guilds and the tries, there
was 20 commanders in each of the previous videos, and we didn't want to short you because there's only 5 monocolors, so there would be 10. But we doubled down, and we're going to give you each of our individual opinions on best and worst design for a commander.
So let's get right into it. Wooburg order, obviously, because obviously Magic goes in Wooburg order, and if you go in any other order, you're insane.
Chess also goes in Wooburg order.
Yes, it does. That's actually completely true. If there was a blue, it would go before black, and then after black, red would go. Obviously, this is how it would go.
In 5D chess.
In 5D chess, that is how it would go. But first is white. So, BZ, what is your favorite white commander design? Tell us now.
Yes, BZ always goes first. And my favorite mono-white legend of all time, design-wise and how it plays, it's got Eternal Ketra. We took mono white and we finally gave it some some juice. When you read this card, you get super hyped because it does so many different things and you get the wheels turning. Like, how can I cast the most creature spells? I don't even care what the creatures are because I'm getting a pretty substantial token. And if you can get enough of them and chain enough creatures, then you just get an army of dudes. And if you want to give them haste, you can just win that turn. I start to think of do I want to go the Ornithopter route? Do I want to go the White Mane Lion route? Or maybe Cloudstone Curio? I don't know. This card's awesome and it makes mono white. This is a good mono white commander.
This is a good mono white commander. It's a very creature-centric deck. And I love that she avoids tax by going third from the top. That is a great way to avoid tax. But I don't think she's got nothing personally on Darien, which is such a unique deck. This literally takes cards like Ancient Tomb that, yeah, they're good everywhere.
Yeah. But it's
somehow better in this deck. What if Ancient Tomb also made you 2 guys? That is so cool. I have seen one of the friends of the channel, Dino Worker Moses, whatever he goes by nowadays, has a Darien deck, played against it personally. It is an awesome deck. You put a Soul Sister on the field, no one can attack you. They attack you for 10. All right, take 10, get 10 guys, gain 10 life back.
Yeah, put that in your Ghostly Prison pipe and smoke it. It's really cool. There's these synergies, and you're playing Tarnished Citadel and City of Brass in a mono white deck. It's just because you can.
Absolutely. I just think that this card is such a unique design and a way to play mono white that you literally can't get this with any other card, and I think its design is just beyond unique.
For me, it's a little expensive, a little pricey.
Definitely.
What you get. So beyond that, it's pretty cool. My least favorite mono white commander, I don't know what they were doing with this design, but I guess I just mentioned Ghostly Prison, but let's mention Nils. Just going to read this one because it's kind of confusing. At the beginning of your end step, for each player, put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature that player controls. Each creature with 1 or more counters on it can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless its controller pays X, where X is the number of counters on that creature. There's so much text on this card, and it doesn't amount to anything. I can put 3 counters on my opponent's creatures, and then I get a freebie. Now, those 3 creatures next turn, if they want to attack me, their controller has to pay 1, which is basically nothing. I don't know what did I get out of that exchange? It's garbage. It's so terrible. They designed this for Commander, and this is like 5 steps worse than Ghostly Prison. You got to wait another turn, then you go to the end step. Now you have a Ghostly Prison, but for 3 creatures. What is going on with this card?
I think the issue is we've seen this kind of design done right on a couple of cards. There was Orzhov Enforcer, I believe is its name, and there is Agitator Ant. Both of these cards take this kind of design.
Oh, Advocist.
Advocist, yes. Orzhov Advocist and Agitator Ant, they've taken this kind of design. The design of giving everyone a benefit. You always get it, but if the other players take it, they can't attack you.
Yeah.
Nils has to both stay on the battlefield for that, which is butts compared to Agitator Ant, and
that's true, yeah.
Orzhov Advocate, and it's just not even, it's not nearly as good as either of those 2 cards. It's just, I like the idea here. The idea is there, but the execution is absolutely butts.
And the thing that pushed me, like, I don't like the one that you have as least favorite either. But what pushed this over the top for me is this is specifically for Commander. They had no restraints at all. They weren't designing for any format but this one, and it just was a wet fart.
Yeah, they whiffed. They whiffed super hard. My least favorite is Hixus Prison Warden. This is, it's 20 steps worse than Fiend Hunter, which isn't a legend, and it's unbelievable. You have to get an attacker or a block. Oh no!
But it's always face up. They know about it every time.
No one's ever falling for this as a trap. What are you going to play? Mono White Flash? Well, how many cards are you possibly leaving up besides Hixus? If you don't want to, if he doesn't come up with a case to cast him, he's awful. You're just never putting this card in the command zone. That's why there's only 15 decks in EDH track. But that's fair, and I respect that people aren't building this piece of poop.
Yes. So let's move on to blue. Now, my favorite blue commander is very recent, and I just fell in love with this design because it's a little bit different while also still being a Spellslinger card. It's Octavia Living Thesis. It's like 8 blue for an 8/8. You're like, gotta jump through a ton of hoops. You gotta put 8 things in your graveyard specifically to make this blue for an 8/8, which is, once you hit that, it's insane. And you all know that I love playing Thought Scours and Mental Notes. This is the best excuse to play that card ever. And then once you do, you can just play the cards, generate little tiny dummy tokens, and then untap and go boop, 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 8/8s and smash somebody.
Yeah, Octavia is super cool. I love that the theme is 8. It just is 8. You have to have 8 instant sorceries in your graveyard. It makes things in the 8/8s. It is an 8/8.
It costs 8 less.
It costs 8 less. It is an octopus, and they went with the theme of 8. I love flavorfully. That's awesome.
I also think 8 is on there 8 times.
Is it?
Because it says 8/8 twice, 8 and then reduce 8, and then it's like, I think there's 2 more on there.
I mean, that's just awesome. That's awesome card design. Really love that. My favorite, Attempts This All Seeing. Oh yes, love this card so much. One, it just taps to draw some cards, which is a nice ability in itself, but it cares about having different CMCs in hand. 6 different to be exact, so that's a lot to have. Plus, I love that. If you have 6 cards in hand, you attack a player, they're going to think, do I have to remove that? Do I have to get rid of that? Because if I don't, I might die, even though they might have 3 lands in their hand, and they're just like, go ahead, kill it. Well, what do I care?
This card is not powerful, but it is
not at all.
So cool and out there. It makes a sub game. You have to hit somebody. You literally go, still had all these, you lose. And then there's just still 2 other opponents in the game. This is a sweet card. And the filtering is, I think it catalogs when it taps and pays 3. That's okay. I like that it's there. It can help you filter and find the right things.
Yeah, I mean, this deck is. I love the idea because this also makes you build your deck a little different.
Yeah,
you can't just go with a small curve or whatever. You have to spread out your curve, have it more even, more flat compared to a normal curve that's like this. This is not a curve. This is a line.
Yeah, you want a line. It's actually funny. You still just play all of the free counter spells because Commandeer is 7, Force of Will is 5. Plus, you got to have the backup for your poopy tier commander. You got to be able to back it up with something like, I'm okay mana draining you so I can pay my 8 mana for Attempts This next turn.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Attempts This great design. What's your least favorite for blue?
Yeah, I had to go around this, and I did consider yours for a little bit, but then I ended up settling on Braids, Conjurer, Adept. I think this one misses. I wouldn't like playing against this, and I don't think this is even that great to play. It's also the reason the Black Braids is banned is everybody else gets the thing before you. You're the last person to get a free dramatic entrance. Everyone else just gets one. You're down 20 mana by the time you untap with Braids, which you might not. You probably won't. And then if you do it, okay, now you get a creature, but it doesn't have haste, and you're mono blue. What are you supposed to do? I think this is potentially a fun deck, but I hate the design of this card. I don't think it works at all for you.
Well, one of the biggest problems I think with this card is just you change the game.
True.
When you sit down with this in your command zone, the game warps completely.
Yeah.
You're always going to be the last one to getting advantage of this. So people are just gonna. If I see Braids in your command zone, guess what? I'm keeping the hand that has an Ulamog in it every single time because guess what? This isn't a mulligan anymore. This might have been a mulligan in most cases where I might not play this till turn 10 or not at all in this game. But guess what? I know your Braids is coming out eventually, and I'm just gonna throw Ulamog in the field, and that just warps the game and how it plays.
That's true. It's like it's almost like Nekusar, where you see it. This is not going to be your typical commander game. There's going to be a lot of resources flying around super early, and someone could just get KO'd 10 minutes in, and then the game continues for another half hour.
Yeah. For me, it's Brawl Chief of Compliance. This is a strong Magic card. Absolutely awesome. It's just Goblin Electromancer, but it's mono blue now. With the upside, and this is what really just makes me feel like the card just pushes for unfun design. It's rewarding counter spells. Counter magic is just one of the most hated things in Magic, and I don't hate it as much as the average player. But when a deck pushes you that hard towards counter spells and gives you both a reduction for the counter spell and a reward for playing them, it's basically counterspell the deck, and it gets a little bit sad. These decks are really good. Baral, strong commander. I mean, there's CDH decks with Baral at the helm. That's pretty crazy that can even exist. But I'm not interested. I don't want to ever play against this card because it's just the way what he rewards is not what I want to be playing against.
It's not even a great payoff, but the fact that it pushes you, it's like, hey, here's some incentive. Anything, just kind of can lead to these miserable games where not enough people are throwing haymakers. So whenever one happens, just go, nope, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. So we'll move on now to Black. BZ, what's your favorite commander in Black?
Another tough call. I had to eventually settle on Liliana, Heretical Healer. I love how fair this card is. I love that it's like a cheeky way to put a commander in the command zone. I love that Black can just never pick commander attacks by reanimating her every time she dies. I think the flip side is super fair, and the ultimate is awesome, and it's totally worth getting to. I just love everything about Liliana. No one can ever complain about this card. It's so salt of the earth, like fair, fun EDH card.
Yeah, no, I agree with that almost completely. That was a great way to put it. This is just an extremely fair Magic card, and it's fun to do. You get to flip her over, and the way you do it is doable, and it's fun to do, and it's just kind of its own deck. And flipping her is not going to break the game. Actually, we'll talk about these coming up in Red. We'll talk about the flip designs a little more because I actually want.
I should have picked that one
because that's in there. But this is a great design for a flip Planeswalker. I really like having a Planeswalker in your command zone without having a Planeswalker in your command zone. It's a really sweet design.
And any deck you can play Unearth in, I love it. I love Unearth.
Yes. My favorite is Gisa Glorious Resurrector. There are a couple things I really, really like about this design. One, things have to die, and you have to untap with her. So she's not unfair in any way. It's not like you can play a removal spell, and then you immediately get it. No, you have to wait and untap with her. It is very slow, and it is clunky because players, if you stack 4 things under it, players are going to try and kill this no matter what. That being said, getting the chance to do this kind of thing where you just kill like 4 creatures, and then you get them all back with Decayed is so cool and awesome. Love this design. Super. Again, this is another one. Just like Lana, it's so fair. If you do the thing, people are gonna be like, "Oh, that sucked. He got so much failure." It's like you had to let me kill the stuff, then untap with it. This is a fair card. You can't get mad about this one.
Yeah, it's like if the Braids player flashes in an Ulamog. It's like, what, did you not see this coming? You had plenty of time, sir. But Gisa is nice. I think Homeward Path is terrible, and I love that it is amazing in this deck. It's like the best card in your deck.
Yeah, it's so random because if you don't know about this, Decayed is a trigger. You attack, Decayed goes onto the stack. So this will be sacrificed at the end of combat. They get in, they deal their combat damage, they don't die, whatever happens. Before the end of combat, you give them away, they go back, and then the Decayed trigger, Demolish gets rid of them, they go into exile again, and they'll come back to you next time. That's so cool.
It's just like an endless cycle of stealing all their creatures. It's so sweet. My least favorite and Joe's least favorite are the same card. I just think it's not that close for mono black commanders. There's some poopy ones out there, but I think Tergrid, God of Fright, really takes the cake. This is a kill it or the game is over. Like, it really is about that simple. And it's only 5 mana, and there's going to be ways to cheat it out turns 3 through 4. And I just think this is like a different game. It's kill Tergrid, then play Commander.
Yeah, my friend plays Tergrid, and he has 8 decks, and he rolls a dice to play, and I don't know how he plays Tergrid every single game. That dice is rigged.
I haven't seen the last few rolls.
I know, but Tergrid still comes out. This card's very good. It's very strong, and the reason he likes it is he's a smallpox player. He really likes that type of play, and that's completely fair. Now, from a design standpoint, this is lame as can be. like you said, it comes out. Do you kill it or do I win? That's every single game with Turgid. It's I just don't like playing against this card at all, and I don't want to play it because it feels like the lines are going to be the same to me. It's like I play Turgid. If I untap, I win. All right, let's go.
But if Turgid dies, you're like, okay, now I have to pay 7 for it. And then if it dies again, you're just out of the game. I don't know. The cards in Turgid are below average. Like if you play Dark Deal, it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, like your Thoughtseize. I mean, you have to get another payoff like a Megrim onto the battlefield. The Megrim's really slow compared to what Turgid's going to do. I mean,
the fact that you can play Thoughtseize, though, is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
That's a +1.
That is a +1. The Thoughtseize is actually good in the Turgid deck because I love that. I love having a 1-mana way to follow up
right after
Turgid. So you just go Turgid, Thoughtseize. Now you get the best thing out of someone's hand. That is a really cool thing for Turgid. That being said,
too many negatives.
If I never see you at a table again, I'll be happy.
We're gonna rig Tim's die to only roll 1 through 7. Let's move to red. Now, my favorite mono red commander is definitely Burgi, God of Storytelling, or Burgi. I don't remember how to say it. I like that this card just it's almost like you do whatever you want. You spin, you literally just spin the wheels. That's all I want to do in Magic. I literally just said I like Unearth more than Reanimate. Like that's pretty much sums up my entire life for Magic. Burgi lets you on the front side sling spells, and on the back side never run out of gas ever. You have Horn of Harnfell out. You're never missing a play. You're always going to have something. It's so sweet. If you want to play discard, matters cards, it goes infinite with Grinning Ignis, I think it is. So that's like the one little downside of it, but I think everything else about this card is like a slam dunk. So much fun to play. Not miserable to play against.
See, Burgi is something that never interests me. I like her backside. I do really like the horn.
You like Burgi's backside?
I like Burgi's backside. The Horn of Harnfell, I think, is really strong. And I love having that in the command zone, this card draw engine. The front side, it never really interests me. I understand. It's powerful. It's a great Magic card. It never interests me from a design point, but I do love Horn.
I think I fell in love with this from Commander Cube.
Yeah, that is completely fair.
Always great.
It is. My favorite, and I think red perfectly encapsulates our play styles, as BZ picked the spinning wheels thing. I picked the big, giant, overcosted threat that plays your threats, Atali, Primal Storm. This, again, just fair. So fair. It is a 6-mana attack trigger. You got to jump through hoops to get this. But when it does attack, it is so worth it, as you're going to cast at least 2 spells, most likely. Sometimes you get 0 and then you cry, but that's very rare. But if you hit anything off this, it feels so good. Atali is such a cool design on a card.
Even when you're playing against it, it adds tension to the game. It adds fun factor, because sometimes they hit 0 or they hit something ridiculous, and you're just like, oh my god! It just leads to so many fun interactions. It doesn't win the game. It's not expropriate, unless you cast expropriate, but it's not like Turgid, where if they attack with Atali, you lose. It's like if they attack with Atali, they drew 3 cards and added 5 mana. Like, it's pretty good.
I think it's an absolutely great design. Great comparison is Turgid to Atali. Turgid, if you don't kill it, you lose. Atali, if you don't kill it, they get a great amount of value and are putting themselves in a position to most likely win this game.
You just fall behind.
Yeah, exactly. I love. That's what makes the design good. Is like if they're doing your thing and they're going off, they are probably and going to get in a position to win the game, but they're not locked to win just because they did one thing.
And the game doesn't reset, but they're way ahead, basically. How about my least favorite? I hated that this card was in the set. Maybe if this wasn't from War of the Spark, I'd like it more, but Ilharg the Razeboar, what an out-of-place, like, poopy card. Why couldn't they have just brought Hazoret over for, like, 5 minutes? Or even not at all, because War of the Spark didn't match the story at all on the cards. Just, why? You have 4 God Eternals, and then you just have a stupid boar. What makes it a god? How did it get to be a god? Why is it just the most boring text line I've ever read? I hate this card.
Actually, BC, to answer your question, I'll put it right up here. Within Ilharg, showing on this secret layer, there is just divine power. That is why it is a god, BC.
It's biological.
It's biological. It biologically just has divine power in its belly.
Yeah, I kind of, my eyes glaze over a little bit when you show me sneak attack. It's been done a lot of times. Perforos was right after this, I think, and maybe did it a little bit better. Ilharg just puts me to sleep, but it's just like, it's not anything interesting, and I hate the flavor of it. Maybe that's part of it.
Yeah, that's completely fair. For me, my least favorite is not even close. It's Chandra, Fire of Kaladesh. This whiffed everywhere. I don't know if this was supposed to be pushed for standard or where they were trying to push it, but again, a lot of these planeswalkers, Nissa.
All 4 of the rest of them saw play.
All 4 of the rest of them saw play somewhere, even though Kithian's really poopy for Commander.
He was great for standard.
Chandra was just great nowhere, and that's what makes me really not like this design. You jump through these hoops. Okay, all right. It's tough to get her to go off.
3 red spells?
You got to do this 3 times. You guys have 2 red spells.
Right.
You have to untap
then 2.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we can do this. This is a nice little hoop to jump through. All right, we better get a cool... Oh, Her backside stinks. Why? This is just...
Stop saying backside.
Well, because it is her backside.
Planeswalker side.
Her Planeswalker side is no good, and it doesn't do anything. It's not worth jumping through the hoop. That's why the Liliana, the Nissa, and the Jace are all cool. Their backsides are worth getting to.
And their front sides are good. Their front side is nothing. I wish I would have had this, because I hate this even more than Ilharg. So maybe I'll amend.
You just
I hate Ilharg's lore more than anything, but I think Shadow's a way worse card.
Yeah, that's fair. So let's go to our final color. It's green. BZ, what's your favorite?
I for some reason, I don't think anyone else but me likes elves. I feel like I've been seeing all these comments like, yeah, elves is lame. And I'm just like, but I like elves. So if anyone likes elves, let me know. But I think Freyalise Llanowar's Fury is a sweet commander. You always have an answer to artifacts and enchantments, and it helps games not spiral out of control to like a Rhystic Study or something that's just going ham, or a Bolas's Citadel. You always have an answer in the command zone, and she makes Llanowar elves, so she always ramps, and she helps pay her tax in the future if she happens to die. And you can go plus, what's it called? Regal Force, which is just sick. I love this card so much.
This card does nothing for me.
Oh, it's so cool. And she has a freaking eye patch.
I think one of the things about it is I just don't care about elves as a tribe. They're not a tribe that interests me whatsoever. A lot of people do like elves, and they are cool in their own right. This card, I have nothing to say about this card because I don't care about it.
I think it'd be a cool mid-range commander. I think it's definitely at home in an elves deck, obviously, where you want to go elf, play this on turn 3, and you just feel like you're in the driver's seat of that game. Where are the elf lovers? It's one of the most popular types, and I can't find anyone who likes elves.
Yeah, mine, personally, for green is Goreclaw, Terror of Kale Sisma. Now, I've fallen in love with this card through being in my 99 in a couple decks now. I originally had it in my Golta deck when I played a Golta deck, and then I kind of revamped Golta into Godzilla. And this is just an awesome card in both those 99s. And I think in the command zone, it's got to be even better. The reduction is a lot. You start cheating. If you can cast 2 creatures in a turn, all of a sudden you're cheating so much mana. You're cheating 4 mana easily. I've cast 3 creatures with this in the turn. And if you have a draw engine on the battlefield, you could just keep playing. This card is awesome. It just lets you keep playing more and more Magic. It's not busted because like the reduction's great. It helps you get on board and do all that, but it's still weak to a board wipe after that. And then it has a cool texture because all of them trample. Even if they don't have trample, this card is great in design.
This card is nothing for me.
The same thing as like for
right. I just look at this and I'm like, this is like a bulk rare from M1. I don't know. I hate this card, but it's actually pretty good. I've seen it in play a couple times now because nobody respects it, especially me. And no matter how many times I see it, I'm like, I don't respect that card. I wouldn't even play it.
Yeah, I remember
it's gonna beat you up. Actually,
I've played it and then like I followed up like 2 mana Sarkhan and my commander, and then my commander has haste, attack.
With a haste creature, maybe even next turn, it's like, okay, that's a lot of damage. Yeah. Wait a minute.
It is a very good Magic card. What's your least favorite, BZ?
My least favorite, if you want to talk about my eyes glazing over, Yorvo, Lord of Garenbrig, is just a 3-mana 4/4, and it gets a little bit bigger. That's it. There's no text in this card. There's no frills. There's no bells. There's no whistles. There's no trample. There's no evasion. There's no fun. I don't like this card at all. I think there's just nothing there. It was probably just a standard card. That being said, this is a commander video, so...
Yeah, agreed. It's no fun at all. But mine personally is Vorinclex Voice of Hunger, and this comes from a point of it's just not fun to play against. Either the lines are it dies and it didn't do much, but it was still annoying for the guy who had to answer it, or you flip it and it doesn't die, and it's the least fun card ever because the player playing it gets to play double Magic, and the players not playing it get to play half Magic. That's not fun.
Yeah, for me, I actually don't even view this as an unfun card. I maybe there's a disconnect between me and everybody else, but to me, I just look at this as another big fatty, and if they want to stick it and I can't answer it, that's on me, and I'm going to lose either way. Mm-hmm. At least it doubles their mana, so it's not like Winter Orb where you don't play. They're just going to smash you next turn if you let them untap, whether you answer it or not. You don't have to worry too much about your lands not untapping. I just think this is another big win condition, although I do see why it's not fun for some people. Obviously, I'm not saying you're crazy. I just don't care about it.
Out of the command zone specifically, I think it really is bad as a commander, and it's not going to be fun to play against ever. In the 99, it's more or less whatever, because like whatever big giant threat you want to play is whatever. If I know I'm going to see in every game, I'm going to get more annoyed.
Hear me out. Vorinclex as your commander, but you also play Vidalcan Orrery, so if they go to kill it, you float the mana for it again, and you flash it in after.
Great. That sounds really
That's perfect, right?
That sounds really fun. But that is our video. Special shout-outs to all of our patrons. Love you all as much as we can without making you uncomfortable. Thank you guys so much for all the support you give us. Seriously, it means the world to us.
Yeah, ever wonder why all of Joe's shout-outs are the same? You wish somebody would spice it up every once in a while, but if you want a cool shout-out, listen to the next 30 seconds of your life, because TCG Player is our affiliate buddy, and if you click the link that we have for you in the description, you get a special access to the normal site that you can go buy cards on, and then when you check out, We get a kickback on the order. It helps us live our dream and make magic videos every single day for you. Also, Dragon Shield, best sleeves in the entire multiverse. Also links in the description. US or EU, whatever's better for you. Buy them, and we get a little bit of kickback on those too.
That was so not smooth. That's
so great.
Probably
Just
because you switch it up every time.
Just because I really care about the viewer is what it is.
Yeah. Well, tidbit about our lives.
It's definitely your turn.
It is my turn. I was hanging out in Discord for a bunch today because you weren't home, and I was chilling. And basically, well, I wasn't voice chat for some of it, but basically, everyone was just chatting, and I guess it was just me and the mods today. I was talking with the mods.
Okay.
And basically, it turned into Moses, who is a mod, has been saying he's gonna come visit us at some point.
Ooh.
For the past 6 months, and he's like, well, once COVID's over, obviously.
Good luck with that.
So next year sometime, he was saying, and then it turned into basically every mod wanting to organize to come at the same time.
Commander Cube with mods?
Yeah. I mean, they're all cool and they're all super nice people. So it'd be very nice to meet every one of them. They do a lot for the server. Somebody said you should be proud of your server and the community that's there, and I am. Everybody there is so nice and kind. If they're not nice and kind, they get out of the server. I mean, unbelievable. I'm not going to say the name because it was so disrespectful, but somebody had to be kicked out just for his name today. Oh, it was that bad. It's like, why you got to be like?
But removing those people helps make it inviting and welcoming community, which I am proud of. Although, if I have to give credit, it's through our awesome mods. They help us and they're like friends with us and they keep everything running so you don't get those names that make you go, why am I here?
I do maybe want to do a video in the future. I think more importantly than anything in Magic is being a welcoming person in the community.
How to be a good ambassador for the game.
Yeah, exactly. You need to be a good human for Magic. Like, we might sit here and tell you not to play this card or not to play this card, but we'll never insult you for anything. I mean, it's such a simple...
Not even Grave Titan.
It's such a simple thing in life to be kind and nice to people regardless of their differences from you. It's so easy, right? It sounds so simple.
People get distracted in their own heads and they think they get a little selfish maybe, and things don't go that way.
Yes. So that is our video. Peace out, Tribe Scout.